Welcome back. I would like to discuss one of my favorite things, sunscreen. Every single day, there's an unshielded fusion reaction in the sky above our heads. My skin is badly sunburned. I'll be fine. Today we're going to work on a song that I've been working on since 2005. This was actually one of the songs that was a precursor to the decision to start a band called Saturday Night at the Apollo. The end of every chorus is the way I felt when you kissed me. The rest of the guys in the band thought it was too mushy. We had a song where the first word of every verse was princess, but this song was too mushy. So it's not a Saturday Night at the Apollo song. It's definitely the sort of thing I was doing at that time. In my imagination, this song has existed. Took a moment and realized, wait, this song was never recorded. Only problem now is my camera doesn't work, which is super exciting. There we go. Just needed to unplug it. I want to get the guitars in for the second part here. The synth in real time, and this is like an analog synth simulator, and I'm bouncing out the resulting sound so that all I end up with is a sound file that just has to be mixed in. Actually delete the real-time generation of the audio data, because it's much easier for the computer, especially with SSD, to just read the audio data. The downside of that is I can't edit the notes now. I can't like go back, change the notation or change the sound quality or tweak dials on the synth. Some of my CPU load is these guitar amp cabinet simulators, because I'm doing real-time guitar amp cab simulation, like distortion and microphone modeling and stuff like that. And so these are not free either. What's actually recorded in the sound there is just like raw direct line in directly from the guitar into the audio input device. If I go through all these and like disable the amp cabinets, then like you can hear it. That's the sound I actually played. It's really soft. But then I turn on the amps. 4 guitars and a bass over there. This probably doesn't qualify as an instrument. Maybe it's like, it counts as like half an instrument. 10-and-a-half-month-old daughter has a little tiny drum kit. And then I have, conceivably I have thousands of instruments. But it's like the sum of the parts are, what is it, the saying, the sum of the parts is greater than the whole of the sum or something. I sort of speak in like this lower register and I sing in like a higher register. And so it's like still me, but unless you've heard it, it's like, wait, I probably need to check the tuning. There's nothing worse than recording guitar tracks and then discovering that your guitar was out of tune and now all your recordings are out of tune. You want it to be as loud as you can get it without clipping, basically, when you do loud stuff. Yeah, probably a better listening experience. I should get in this habit. Gotta love hearing someone tune a guitar. I've been playing guitar for years, and I only recently found out that guitars are never actually in tune, because there is no actual way to make a perfectly flat fret like this. Then mathematically, it's actually the wrong fractionalization, and so they just pick the average of bad for every string. There's guitars that you can buy that have frets that maintain perfect tuning, and they look like zigzaggy lines because the mathematically correct place to pinch the string to get a perfect fraction of a frequency is not anywhere on the straight line. It's like different for every string based on the string's weight. I had this song that I used to play in my band where I would tune it at the root and then I would play it up here and it sounded out of tune. So I got in this habit of like, before we would play that particular song, I'd actually tune the guitar while holding the root chord of the song and like detune certain strings. And I was like, I thought it was just my guitar was broken or crappy. And it turns out like what I was actually doing was just compensating for the fact that like it really was actually out of tune halfway up the fretboard, because that's where the majority of the song was being played. All right, the lyric is, standing on the precipice, make it look so effortless. There are plenty of differences. Like, I'm obviously like playing an instrument instead of like MIDI sequencing a synthesizer, but functionally speaking, in terms of composition and how you think about project layout and stuff like that, like there's not a whole lot of difference between making music with instruments and making music with synthesizers and samplers. I'm using a drum kit called Superior Drummer. It's like a commercial drum sampler system with its own like mixer that simulates like all of the there's 11 microphones in this recording session. So like when you hit the snare drum, it actually got picked up on 11 microphones, and then I have it connected to a MIDI trigger for a note, which fires the snare drum, but it lights up all of the mic channels from the original recording session. And this was just like a guy in a studio with a really nice drum kit doing hundreds and hundreds of different smackings of individual drum items. And what ends up happening is you end up getting like all of the natural crossbleed from all the microphones and all of the natural room reverberations. So it's like it's a sampled real drum. It's a drum machine, but it's firing off 11 channels of samples for that drum hit, and then it also like cycles through multiple versions of the same sample. So if you hit it 3 times, you're never getting the same sound twice, which is sort of helps mimic sort of like the natural organic drum sound. Whenever you're talking about like why the studio recording sounds so much better than the live performance, the reason is because everybody's putting their best foot forward, and they're doing little things like taking things in segments and, taking the best parts of a performance or the best take of something, playing it in a loop so that you get really comfortable with the loop,
Even if I wrote all night and day in every space.
My brother-in-law recently said something that was very complimentary, and I told him, I'm like, well, you're probably as good of a guitar player as me. The only difference is I don't share the parts that I didn't play well. Like, that's the only difference, is I'm only like showing the parts that I think I played well, and I'm just like quietly getting rid of the rest of the parts that I don't think I played well.
Pushing off the precipice, you make it look so effortless. Full sending head first into somewhere new. I can't believe that it's really true.
That might be it. How much weirder would it be if I was just like,
if everything I said was sung in a note and I tried to sing every conversation?
You gotta talk somewhere and you gotta sing somewhere, and
up here for everything.
I'm not sure I could. I guess I could
Michael Jackson it all the time and just live up here in this register.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Like we all did. We all just accepted that Michael Jackson's speaking voice was also his singing voice. And the world was right.
When you kissed me.
And this is it's finally done.
I can almost feel your arms around my neck as I ran my fingers through your hair and breathed your exhale breath into my lungs. I still recall the frost in crystals on the glass and the images of our reflections as they're looking back. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, how much is this moment worth? Nothing matters at all when you're here with me. Even if I wrote all night and day in every space on every page, 100,000 words would still not say the way I felt when you kissed me. I drive along this empty road tonight. Bright flakes of white in my headlights shine like 1,000 points of light. And while I count each snowflake that is floating in the air, each one reminds my mind of just how much I'm wishing you were here. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, how much is this moment worth? Nothing matters at all when you're here with me. Even if I wrote all night and day in every space on every page, 100,000 words would still not say the way I felt when you kissed me. Pushing off the precipice. 1,000 words. How much is this moment worth? Nothing matters at all when you're here with me. Even if I wrote all night and day in every space on every page, 100,000 words would still not say the way I felt when you kissed me.
I hope that you enjoyed the music. Consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel to hear more. I make new music every week. I stream Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific on Twitch, and I hope to see you there.
Like and subscribe,
Yeah.
like and subscribe. If I get 1,000 subs, then I get monetized.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe, like and subscribe. It costs you literally nothing and it helps me survive.
Hit the button.
Tap the like button.
Do it.
Tap the subscribe button.
Do it now.